Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of ADHD and Crochet. And today we're going to continue on with our dragon here. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer. I did finish the belly off camera and then I attempted to record sewing on the front legs, but my camera decided to shut down um, during that, so I lost that footage. So we're starting again today. My string is already being difficult today, so that's going to be fun. So we're going to continue on with the legs here, sewing on the bottom half of this front leg, and then we'll do the back legs. And we'll see how this goes. And I apologize if I sound a little off today. I think I'm getting sick or am sick. I'm not sure. I don't feel great, and I didn't sleep great. So, who knows what's going on? I certainly don't. One of the reoccurring issues I've been noticing with this particular piece is getting the needle to go through all the layers because of how the yarn is, and that's fine. I think if I was using the proper sized yarn and whatnot, it would work fine, but it wants to be difficult. Here we are. We just took down all our Christmas decorations finally. Been procrastinating doing that because it is a two-person job for sure. Because I'm scared of heights. So taking down the Christmas lights and putting all the boxes in the storage space that we have them in scares me a lot. I don't like getting on ladders. So I'll have to get my husband to do that. If you guys could have any superpower, what would it be? I'd want teleportation. I don't like driving, and I don't like being in cars in general, and I'm scared of heights. So flying wouldn't necessarily be good for me. But I think teleportation would be dope. Like, I would never have to worry about being late. Well, I'd still have to worry about it because, sleeping in and whatever. But I wouldn't have to worry about, like, travel time ever anywhere. Appointments, anything like that. Just be there. Wouldn't have to worry about air traffic, anything like that. I guess I'd just have to worry about, like, appearing in the same space as someone. part of me thinks it would be cool to like be able to speak with animals, but then I remember how dumb my cats are, and I rethink that option. I don't think I want to know what they're saying. I'm pretty sure I already know what they're saying. It's nothing intelligent or worthwhile. Alright, so the next part we're going to put together here is the back legs, specifically the thigh area. Back legs are set up as two parts with this design. They are the thighs and the feet, essentially. So we're starting with the thighs, and we're starting with this thigh. This is going to get awkward very quickly, position-wise. The head and neck are kind of in. There is a wire in there, but it's not a very strong one. It's just a couple of pipe cleaners. Because that's what I have an abundance of right now. Holding shape is not the greatest, but we're trying our best. I feel like that's any kind of shapewear. We're trying our best. There's probably easier ways of doing this. I just don't know what those might be. Don't particularly care either. I just assume I'm doing it wrong and continue on with life. And we are going to attach to here. Okay. I'm kind of just attaching it to the belly plate here a little bit. Just so that these back legs are really in the position I want them to be in. Processes apparently. I'm doing all the rest of my pinning. It's fine though. Everything is fine. Very carefully. Break. Now at this point, these last stitches are more to make it look nicer than anything. Make it look flush against the body. They are no longer load bearing, if you will. Stitches are walls now. Okay, well, this side is just going to have to go over there for right now. It's in my way. It fell off. I'll probably finish this leg before messing with the other one. That way I'm less likely to poke myself. I'm currently doing. There's just casually a pin in my palm now. It's fine. Alright. Yeah, that's not gonna work. A novel thought, but it's not gonna happen. Last stitch. And we can start making our knot here. Hide our string, maybe. And alright, so now we can attach the foot. And hope that I have enough string to do so. Now, since I am concerned about that, we're going to do one string at a time instead of both at once. That way, if I only get so far with one, I can go the other way with the other. Works out. Let's see. Here. No longer do. I'll have to find that later. The pin got shot across the room. I'm not gonna go digging for it now. I have things to do. These parts take absolute concentration. Alright, looks like I did have enough string to get all the way around, which is great. So we will just hide the other one and pretend it doesn't exist. What you do with your problems, right? Made our knot. Hide our strip. It does not want to stay on the needle. Hide our string. We're going to hide the other one too. There we go. And snip, snip. Alright. You're not stable. We already knew this. We've got to position this just right. But it lines up with the other one. Here we go. Now we can get started. Now I'm not worried about string length on this one, but I am a little worried about string strength. So we are going to use both. Now we've got to find the optimal spot. Now we are getting pretty close. All we will need to do once we get the legs done is the spine, Bagmiser, and the wings. However, we've taken almost half the video just attaching 3 legs, well, 2.5 legs. So, we will see how far we actually get. We might get through the spine. So I might do the Thagomizer off camera. We'll see. Thankfully, project is already read. But I did just drive the point of my needle into my thumb. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. This is a blunt needle too. I'm almost impressed. It doesn't hurt anymore. It was just a spot. It's almost ironic that I take so much care around the very pointy things. But it's the less pointy thing that actually causes me a problem. Oh, oh, there goes that one. We'll just get rid of it. Oh, alright, so we can start making our knot here. find our string. Okay, there we go. Now we gotta put the foot on. This one I gave a lot more string for, so I think it'll be fine to use both. Have to get them through the needle. One on the wrong side. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this show started. I guess the show's already like halfway through. Not the point. Now, I do have and have been working on projects from Megan Lapp's most recent book, which is Mushroom People and Snails. And I love it. But unfortunately, the mushroom people, as cute as they are, do not require like any sewing. It is all, everything is crocheted together, which is cool. But it kind of leaves me without content for these. Luckily, I do still have a backlog of projects to work on into February. But you just unfortunately probably won't see any of the mushroom people unless they're like sitting in the background. But you will see some of her older books, projects, like the dragons here, impkins, and imp people that are done similarly to the mushroom people. But the my microphone died. I don't know how much it was missed, but I do have some like little impkins from her books and stuff that I can turn into content because they have little hats and stuff. Clothing. So we'll probably do that soon. I might include that alongside this dragon here if I do have to do a third video for it, for the wings, but I don't suspect that the wings themselves will take very long to attach. We'll probably do a little menagerie of things. But we have all our legs attached, so now we can pin the spine in place after I untangle the string. Now the spine I have done in a couple of parts here because it was not as long as I wanted it to be. There we go. Go. Stay in place. Alrighty. Now, I don't really have a choice on this one. If it don't go all the way down, I will just have to grab another string. But hopefully this goes all the way down. I am probably just going to use the black string rather than black and white, because this one is so thin. Such a thin space that I'm working on. I've got to be delicate with it. Alright. First attaching stitch, and we've already lost the string to the needle, off the needle. So we've got to rethread that. Now you might be wondering, is your needle bent at the end? Yes, it is. No, it's not supposed to be. I don't remember how it happened. But yeah, that's a thing. We're going between the horns. It's a very delicate process, which is why this is probably going to take the rest of the video. Now, personally, as we get everything attached, he is getting cooler and cooler looking by the part, and I'm quite happy with it. I originally would have preferred if the horns were a solid white rather than the static color that they are, but it's okay. Still looks nice. It still works out. I do have to work this in some weird angles. Attach this all the way down. I'm actually going to reuse a pin here instead of just putting that pin away. Going back to the superpower thing, I think it would also be really cool to have like the abilities of the Cheshire Cat. Just appear, basically teleport, but also detach parts of yourself to still remain visible, but stay alive. Halloween would be awesome with that ability. Just play all the Halloween pranks. Be your own Halloween decoration. Costumes don't have to be optical illusions. You can literally just put your head in a box. Be the headless horseman. People ask you for a hand, you can just give them a hand. That would also be fun. Not very helpful for everyday life, but still very fun. But honestly, people did have superpowers. We all know very few people would actually use their powers for anything good. We either be playing pranks on one another or actively being menaces to society. I know I probably would. I wouldn't like hurt anybody, but at least not on purpose. I don't think I'd end up using my powers for good. At least not for the good of mankind. Maybe the good of me. Partially because I'm just lazy. And I know if I started using my powers for the good of mankind, I would never have a free moment in my life. And also, I'm pretty sure superheroes don't get paid by the government. Just saying. We are not even halfway through. Fine here. This is probably going to be a longer video because I want to try to get the spine done on camera. I might just finish it off camera. Now, I know I've only got like 12 of you watching, but I'm curious what superpowers you guys would go for. You could do any kind of superpower. Because, like, teleportation may not be as cool or useful to someone else as it would be for me. Maybe flying is better. Maybe your job would be easier if you had invisibility or something. I also don't want flying because, like, I would probably have to adjust my diet to make up for the calories I would be burning from flying, especially if it was like wings, other part of my body, and I don't want to deal with wings. I don't want to deal with having to adjust my clothing to accommodate wings. Sleeping would be a nightmare. It's already a nightmare for me. I don't sleep very well. And no, it's not from caffeine consumption. This is the most caffeine I've had in weeks. Maybe I want my superpower to be the ability to just sleep forever, unbothered. Wouldn't help anyone but me. Then again, I probably wouldn't use any of my powers for good for anyone other than myself, if we're being honest. I think that's kind of a pretty standard trait. We like to believe that there are selfless people out there. There's always going to be some sort of personal gain, recognition, money, getting the girl or guy or whatever, being noticed. There's always some sort of reason to do things that aren't just because it's the right thing to do. Much as I want to believe that we would do the right thing just because it's the right thing. But even that gets muddled with politics and things like that so easily. Humanity is complicated. I think I'll stick to dragons. I'm sure dragons would be complicated too. I just think they're cool. tea break. I'm surprised it's still warm. Been about an hour since I made that. Of course, I did make it a little too hot at the start. Now, obviously, if I asked the question, if you could be any animal, what would it be? Mine is pretty clearly a dragon if we're going to count fictional creatures. If we are going to talk about real creatures, I'd probably be a cat. Them are pretty cool. I feel like I relate to some of their things. It would be cool to have retractable claws, better night vision. I already don't sleep very well. I'd like to see in the dark. But I'm gonna take these parts off and just kind of put them over here right now. They're kind of falling off anyway. Now, this is probably the most involved dragon I've made so far. It has so many parts, so many things going for it. But it's kind of my most standard looking dragon. First one I made was a water dragon. I did not sew it together on here because I was just kind of getting a feel for how long it would take to put it together, and that one didn't have a lot of parts, so it really didn't take very long. This one has so many parts, and so many. So we are on video 2 of the dragon, and we are still not done with it. That's okay. We've got the first part of the spine put together here. We may not hide this string, which did take most of the string. And we're going to go back up to the top here and hide the other bits of string. quick little poke it through. There we go. And we can wings, fetch the horn. And there we go. So the main part of the spine is attached. Done. These are interesting little triangles, and then I made a smaller version to go here. I'm going to go in the same vein as the other one and just kind of use one string, not both. And it's looking like the next video is going to be finishing the dragon finally, and whatever else I can put in to make this thing an hour. Okay. Having some technical difficulties here, but we'll figure it out. It was a blessing that my camera died when I attempted to film the last time. We're even closer to done. We've just got to do 5 parts. We've got to attach the wings, and the Fagmizer is 3 small parts. But again, we'll just do that next time. And then I'm going to stitch these 2 pieces together here. So it looks more purposeful. They're supposed to go together. I didn't just make things up, even though I absolutely did. And then we can hide our string. I'll snip that one off. And then we'll work on hiding the other strings. And the last 2. There we go. All right. We have our dragon mostly together. He is now no longer a hazard to my health to work with. So next time we will finish our dragon and do something else. If you like the video, go ahead and like the video. And if you want more content like this, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you next time.